Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Heather, and on this channel we like to walk a very fine line between a shopping addictive makeup monster and a responsible adult with a makeup hobby. Now I really enjoy eyeshadow singles, duochromes, multichromes, palettes, blush, highlight, bronzer, lip gloss, basically everything except pressed glitter, and today we're going to be doing our purchaser pass video. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, stick with me, we're getting into it right now. So this type of video was started by Samantha March, and there are several people that do this type of video now. She has a community playlist where you can check out lots of different people who do this type of video, so definitely go ahead and check that out after you're done watching this one. I don't think we have too much to talk about this week, but we're definitely going to talk about a couple of things, so let's get into it. The first thing to talk about is the new Charlotte Tilbury quads. She has, is it just new packaging? It looks like there's two different quads. They're both kind of warm tone neutrals with like a pop of kind of a burgundy shade. It looks like there's a deeper version and a lighter version, or it's possible this is just the lighting. It's really hard to tell. The front of the palettes has like this mother of pearl opalescent type background, and then there's stars on it. I think the opalescent background is gorgeous, but I think the stars make it look really cheap. So I'll probably be skipping that entirely because I don't think I need a quad of neutrals anyway, but the packaging just kind of repulses me. Alright, Colourpop is releasing new, what is this, the Glossy Lip Stains. So they released two of them in the Cherry collection, and then now they're releasing a whole bunch more shades, which I think is awesome. I saw some of the swatches. There are so many colors that I'm like, yep, I want that one, I want that one, I want that one. So I think with my next Colourpop order, I'll probably throw a couple of these into my bag because I'm always looking to get to $30 so I get the free shipping, because I don't want to pay like $6 for shipping from Colourpop. Like, who does? So I'll probably wait until something else releases that I really like, that I want to pick up, and then add these to my cart. Hermes is releasing the Poudre de Fèvre, and this is a face and eyes illuminating powder. It's a highlighter, and I'm sure it's about a $500 highlighter, so I'm gonna be passing over that, but I do think the embossing is really pretty. But it's basically just a champagne toned highlighter, so you could get that literally at the Dollar Tree. Wet n Wild is releasing some monochromatic 9-pan palettes. I think they're kind of trying to take after the Colourpop palettes, and now Morphe is doing them, so now Wet n Wild's doing them. They have a Honey Be Mine, My Cherry Amour, In Love with Coca, and I can't tell what that last one says. What does it say? Oh, Passion Session. It looked like Pajama Session or something. I was really lost, but I'll probably skip over all these because I really don't think I need to pick up any of these palettes, but I do think it's a cute concept, so maybe if they come up with some like original color stories, I might be more excited to pick them up. Alright, so of course my battery had to die. As is the case with every single purchase or pass video I ever film, because it's always the third video I film in a row. I always lose my battery about halfway through. Anyway, what I was saying, with the Wet n Wild products, the little duos that are like blush highlighter or bronzer highlighter duos, the one blush highlighter duo kind of does pique my interest, so if I see those in stores, I may consider picking one up. It looks like they're available in Target, so I don't know if they'll also come to any of the other retailers for Wet n Wild. Alright, Nordstrom is doing their anniversary sale, and they have a bunch of different things that they released for that sale. There is a whole MAC collection in here that I'm not sure when this came out, but it has such pretty packaging. It's like mint green packaging with like gold foiled like finish on it, and it's kind of like geometric designs. I really think that packaging is very pretty, but the actual makeup inside of it is very boring, so I'll be passing over that. They also have one of these Charlotte Tilbury Sunset Dreamscape Instant Look in a palettes. They have some NARS palettes, some lip products, some Tom Ford quads, Hourglass trios. I'll probably skip over this entire sale because I'm not a huge fan of like high-end luxury makeup. I don't typically tend to gravitate to those things, usually because they are less saturated in color, less vibrant, less metallic, so they're aimed at people that have a wider variety of like skin concerns, fine lines, wrinkles, things like that. I want something vibrant, so I'm not going to gravitate towards those shades very often, which is why I won't pick them up. Jaclyn Hill is releasing the Hot Tropics collection, which includes some lip oils for $20, a putty highlighter for $29, a cream bronzer for $29, and a liquid highlighter for $24. And they're each available in either 3, 4, or 5 shades. So they have like a shade range. Let me see if we can see what the actual colors look like. No, we just see a couple close-ups of like one out of each collection, so I don't know the actual range, if they're like a pretty good range or not. The lip oils look cute, but they look tiny. They look like they're this big. The cap is just as big as the tube, so these are small, and they're $20. That's gonna be an absolute no for me. Bite Beauty is releasing their Power Move Hydrating Soft Matte Lipsticks. They're going to be $28 each. I think these were reformulated for them after they went vegan. So their products are now like completely edible and vegan, hence the name Bite. The colors are really pretty. I don't think I necessarily need to pick any up, but I do really enjoy the holiday samplers that they do with like 4 different shades. I usually wait until that one goes 50% off and then pick that one up from the Sephora sale. So it's something I'll watch out for if they do that again in the fall. Bperfect is releasing Shape Sticks Bronze and Define Contour Sticks. There's bronze shades and contour shades. There's 6 shades of each. So I think that's kind of cool. They kind of remind me of the Hourglass like foundation stick foundations, because they were also in that like triangular packaging. I probably won't pick any of these up like on their own, but I may consider picking one up from like a sale, you know, at some point, if there are other things that catch my eye. Alright, I did also want to talk about this. This is the Hex Baby Beauty is releasing crystal chrome liners. There are 6 different colors, and they look remarkably similar to the other, what is it, Baby Bat Beauty, I think, that released the multichromatic eyeliners already. These are going to be $9 each, or a bundle for $50. I don't need these. I said in the prior video I didn't need them because I have multichrome shadows. If I wanted to make a liner out of them, all I'd have to do is throw down a black liner and put this over top, or a white liner and throw it over top. So I don't need to buy specific items to kind of fill that same niche again. But yeah, I do think it's interesting. It makes me wonder if there's maybe some private labeling of those products going on that allows them to be so cheap and mass produced, because they look like very similar packaging other than the name that's printed on the outside. The next one to talk about, this is Beauty Island PR. They have the La Garita eyeshadow palette with 30 shades in it, mattes and shimmers. That's $38.99. They have a sponge set for $8.99, a diamond brush set with a bag, which is $22.99, and some eyelashes for $8.99. I'm real lost by this packaging for the palette, because it looks like a big square, and then there's like a turret looking castle thing sticking out from it, and that whole shape is the palette. Like, I mean, you can see it in the picture. I'm just really lost. That is such an odd shape for a palette. I don't like that at all. And it doesn't look like the square part is actually square. It looks like it's like a parallelogram, so it's not like 90-degree angles in the corners, which just, it hurts my OCD. Like, it just hurts me. So I'll be passing over that entirely, but I did want to make mention of it because it exists as a thing you can buy. Complex Culture Beauty is releasing blush duos, and these look very similar to the Jouer blush bouquets, which I have the rose gold one. It's like the mini one. But these look pretty similar to that, although they do have lighter shades and some that look like they would work for maybe a medium skin tone. I'm not sure about like a deep skin tone for that first one there, but they do look very pretty, and I like the formula of the Complex Culture blushes. I have one that I got in an Ipsy bag at some point, and it's just it's like soft and buttery, so I really do enjoy that. I think those will probably be very flattering. Alright, Too Faced is doing a Too Faced Gives Back X Belinda Carlisle lipstick, and it has pictures of the little dog all over it. And I'm assuming that's Belinda's signature at the bottom. I'm really not sure. Yeah, I don't really care about this at all. Too Faced is like not doing it for me right now. They're getting rid of the Sweet Peach collection, which was like the only collection I really liked. So I'm just kind of like, meh, meh. They haven't really released anything else interesting recently, so I'm not really looking out for them very much. My Chemical Romance is doing a second round collab with Hipdot. They're doing a very colorful palette, a white eyeliner, some lip products here. What is this? Lip gloss. Oh, they're liquid lipsticks, but they say gloss on them, so maybe they're like a glossy finish lipstick. I'm very confused. I didn't really watch My Chemical Romance or listen to their music or anything like that, so I'm not like drawn in by the collaboration aspect of it. I do think the colors are pretty, but again, it's just a rainbow palette, so I think I can go ahead and pass over that pretty easily. Flower Beauty is releasing the Jet Set Invisible Powder Spray, which appears to be like a sprayed setting powder kind of product. I think that's pretty interesting. I don't typically struggle with oily skin too much, so I don't think this is the product for me, but I do think that this is a really interesting product, and for those of you who have really oily skin, this will be a cool thing to try. So maybe somebody like Heather Austin, I think she tends to have more oily skin, maybe she would try that on her channel. You could keep an eye out for that. Hallberg Cosmetics is doing lip glosses. It looks like they have 3 shades. They're all kind of like warm tone peachy beige kind of shades. I don't think this is going to be the product that like convinces me to buy something from her line, because I think her products are very pretty, but they're kind of pricey. They're European based, so I have to, you know, worry about possible import taxes and things like that. So I just don't want to, like, that's not a product that's going to make me overcome all of that to purchase it. Estate Makeup is releasing the Just a Taste collection, and it appears that each palette is like 3 warm tone neutrals with 1 pop of color in it, either a purple, a green, a teal, or like a peachy shade. I just feel like this is too little too late. This is a really boring release, so I'm going to be passing over that 100%. Revolution Pro is releasing their SPF edit, so they have a soft focus fixing spray with SPF 30. That's going to be €9.99 or 8 Great British Pounds. A soft focus primer SPF 50, which is going to be €11.99 or 10 Great British Pounds. A mattifying translucent setting powder with SPF, but it doesn't say what number, what rating. A conditioning lip balm with SPF 15, and a mattifying translucent loose setting powder SPF 6. So of all of that, I think what I would be most interested in is actually that setting spray with SPF 30, or the primer possibly with the SPF 50 in it. I do have the, what is it, the Super Goop Tinted Glowy primer? SPF primer. So I probably don't need the serum primer here, but I think the setting spray that has the SPF in it would be a really cool thing to try out, and to be able to use that on a regular basis. So I might consider that one, because I know they always say like you should reapply your sunscreen every 2 hours or whatever, but once you do your whole face of makeup, like, you're not going to take that off every 2 hours and put new makeup on. So like, how do you do that? So this might solve that problem. Lime Crime is releasing 2 wet cherry shadow palettes. They're $28 each. They're 5 pans each. One is a matte kind of pinky purpley color story that's very cool toned, and the other one is 5 shimmers that's a little bit more warm toned. I don't know if somebody at Lime Crime is being held against their will and this is their cry for help, but that's not it. Like, I don't like this at all. I don't like the packaging. I don't like the color stories. I don't like any of this. So I would skip over this entirely. I don't know what the heck got in their beans. Alright, Morphe is releasing some liquid blushes. Looks like they're going to have 5 different shades. I don't see a price here, but they're like little squeezy tube applicators, so I would assume probably like an $8 or $9 price point. If they're anything more than that, I don't think I could participate in that at all. Morphe is not a brand that I'm always like checking for, so I probably will pass over these. I'd be more likely to get like the KVD blush, like gel blushes, rather than this one, but this exists as a thing. Sugar Drizzle is releasing their sequel palette, which is going to be $40, and it has more like blue-green type duochromes and a couple like purpley orangey ones, but mostly blues and greens. I think this is a really pretty color story, but the price of the palette I think is like $39.95, so like $40. And I just don't think I need it for that price point. But I do think this reminds me a lot of the It's Belle Cosmetics Break the Rules palette. So I'm very curious to see like swatches and looks and everything with this palette. Sigma is releasing the Sigma Switch, and it appears to be a like silicone type matte that you can do color switching of your brushes on. I always thought these were used for cleaning your brushes, like with soap and water and things like that, so I'm not sure how this will work like dry. But I use these microfiber towels. This one clearly is like well used, it's ready to go in the laundry. But those microfiber towels, you can get like 4 or 6 of them at the Dollar Tree, and you can just run your brushes through those, and it works the same way a color switch does. So it's not as glamorous, not as beautiful, but it's like 5% of the cost. So there's that. Alright, who is this? Oh, Unique Beauty is releasing the Fashion Africa palette collection. It looks like there's going to be 3 palettes total. I'm not sure if any of these have already been released before. There's like a navy, blue, gray, and yellow palette at the top that I think looks so pretty, but I don't know if those are pressed glitters or not. If they're pressed glitters, I definitely would not pick this up because that's a third of the palette. If they're like those shimmery foiled duochrome shades, I might be willing to pick them up though. And then the bottom one's very pretty, that like rosy pink color story, but I have like an entire drawer of rosy pink color story, so I don't need to pick that one up. And then the orangey one just doesn't do it for me. Abilli Cosmetics is releasing a new palette, and their palette is supposed to be honoring their mission to be inclusive and diverse, and this is the Pretty 4 palette, and it has 35 shades, mattes and shimmers mixed, and it's going to be coming in September. I think kind of like the middle 2 rows with like the greens, the blues, the purples, those 2 rows are very pretty, but I don't really need the whole top half of this palette. It's just, it's too many shades that I already have, so I feel like I'll probably skip over this one, but I did think the color story was kind of pretty. It also kind of reminds me of the Musée Beauty, what is that new palette that they put out, the pastel kind of palette that has like the purple and the egg, like the eggplant and the green in it. I don't know. I can't remember the name of it, but anyway, it kind of reminds me of that with that like lavender shade all the way on the end. I definitely won't be picking this one up though because I feel like it's too many shades I don't need. Playing in Makeup by Rolando is releasing the Relentless palette, which appears to be basically a rainbow palette with 3 kind of like shimmery metallic foiled type shades on the end. I'm not sure if those are like duochrome shades or pressed glitters. It's really hard to tell, and the post I'm looking at does not say, so I'm really not sure. I'll probably skip over this though because Playing Makeup by Yolando is pretty expensive, and if I'm not like 100% sold on the color story, I won't pick anything up from there. And then the last thing I'll mention is actually a restock. So this is the BH Cosmetics Ice Cream collection. They restocked it recently, which has been the first time they've restocked it in like a year, almost a year, many months, I don't know, but it's been a long time coming, so I am so excited for this relaunch. I had actually already picked up all but the sugar cone palette, and initially I was like, I don't need the sugar cone one, that's so neutral, blah blah blah, and then the more I saw it, the more I was like, I'm gonna need that one too. So I was waiting for that one to restock because I did not feel comfortable or did not want to pay more than the original asking price for that palette in any capacity in terms of, you know, getting it from like Mercari or anything like that if it was new. So I just waited, and since they did restock it, I went ahead and picked that one up, so I'll be getting that one probably when I see my aunt for vacation this fall, because we did the order together, so I'll get that from her. But the rest of them I already have. They're absolutely delightful. If you want to see looks with any of those, let me know. I'd be happy to film a look with those. But I think that's actually it for this week's Purchase or Pass video. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Again, Friday's video is going to be demoing out this look, and we're having a conversation about some tough stuff. I'm not sure how much I fall in line with everything that was said, but I felt like it would be very thought-provoking to talk about, so we're going to talk about that on Friday, and then yeah, and then next Monday will be a video talking about my summer palettes. So if you are interested in checking any of those videos out, make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss any of that content. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye.